What I like to do in my plugins is put everything, well, at least if it makes any sense, put it in classes. And one of the main benefits of that is that you no longer have your functions or other code like here, like add action is now we call a function inside the global scope. Now if you have no idea what a global scope is, or maybe even don't know what a scope is, that's fine, as long as you know that this gets executed at, like, compare it to the root level of your PHP code. We have no way of controlling when this method will be called. It just gets called as soon as this plugin gets loaded in WordPress. Now, in a lot of cases, and especially with reasonably small plugins like this one, that's all right. It's not gonna hurt. But if you want to do this in more bigger plugins, like real plugins that have more functionality, that have a lot more actions, that have maybe even multiple files, then you want to wrap them in classes. And it's actually really easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. In my file structure, I'm going to make a new directory inside improved Dolly that says classes, and in there I'm going to make a new file with a name class improved Dolly, and I'm prefixing it with class and then a hyphen to stick to the WordPress coding conventions, which is a good thing to do in your WordPress projects. Now we have a class here, well, at least we have an empty file, and I'm going to put a class in here, class with the title improved Dolly, and we're going to take all the contents of our plugin here and put that inside of the class. As you can see, we now have a couple errors that we need to fix, so let's go through them one by one. The most obvious ones are the add action calls, as you can't do that inside of a class. So we need to put them somewhere where they will be executed as soon as we need an improved Dolly object. And in PHP you can just use the constructor for that. The constructor is a special method that gets called as soon as I request a new object of the improved Dolly class. Now let's move both of these function calls to the add action function. Let's put them inside of the constructor. Now let's see what else we have. Now that these functions hello underscore Dolly and Dolly underscore CSS are inside this class, we need to reference them as this. And the same goes for this one. Sticking to the WordPress coding conventions while I'm doing this. What this basically is this parameter, which I've now changed into an array, is actually the callback argument of the add action function, which is a reference to a function inside our class. So hello Dolly gets called inside the admin notices hook, but it's actually a reference. This always points to the class that it's in. In case you're not really familiar with this, I strongly recommend that you start reading up on object-oriented programming in PHP, because I'm not going to dive into this really deep. But it's all really simple as soon as you've got the hang of the basic principles. Now let's see what else is wrong. In the hello Dolly function, we call the hello Dolly get lyric function. Of course, this is now inside this class, so we need to call it with this. and this is all fine. This highlighting is just PHP Storm telling me that I'm echoing HTML. It's probably a hint that I shouldn't be doing this anyway. Alright, now that we've put it in a class, we need to go back to our original file and include the class here. Classes / class improved dolly.php. And now we need to make a new instance of the improved dolly. And as you can see, PHP Storm autofills it for me, which is really convenient. And we can remove the trailing close tag for PHP as well. Now I think we've got it all. Let's go back to our website, and as you can see, it's no longer working. Now let's go back to our code. Oh, there we go. I see. I made a typo here. The constructor method of a PHP class should always be titled __ construct and not constructor. Now let's go back to our web page, and yes, there it is again. As you can see, I have removed the original Hello Dolly plugin, so this is all our new improved Dolly, and it works inside a class this time.